Ha.
Recording.
Yeah.
Hey, hey Mel, how you doing?
Hi, Dave. You poor thing. Tell the world what has happened to you.
What's happened? I literally just got out of surgery an hour and a half ago.
Look at
I had
now.
my
That's giving it a go right here. That's a trooper.
that is. Yeah, no, I had a procedure done on my left eye that I have sort of an erosion problem with and it happened on my right eye last year, and it was, and so this one started to happen finally, and so they basically kind of scrape the front layer off your eye, and then they polish it down, and but anyway, I'm still like, I'm probably not going to remember this whole thing because I'm still so juiced up from all those
It'll be
drugs.
on YouTube, so you can go back and relive it.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yes.
So yeah, I did that, and that's my most recent shenanigan. But even more cool though was last Sunday I did my first cross country race here in Georgia, and it was awesome. I did pretty well. I got 11th place out of 19 people, and
That is
beginner,
good.
it was a beginner class. I didn't know what I was doing, but I kind of got a feel for it, and which was nice because I didn't totally lose, which is kind of what I was expecting to do.
Well, I mean, that's way better than the last one, so it's always improvement, and you made it through alive. Yeah. Exactly. I went to my twin cousin's 50th birthday. And yes, I like to say twin cousin because when we were kids, we looked like twins. And it's just funny coming out of somebody that's from Georgia. So, but he had his 50th birthday. And so speaking of body parts, I played a little Frankenstein because when he and his wife and Kurt and I went down to Destin last month to chase Hurricane Ida, well, you know this about me, Dave, where I am the exact opposite of you. I cannot do long road trips. I lose my effing mind. And my brain usually snaps around hour 4. And this is 5.5. So we were just over the 4 mark when we crossed the Florida line. And you know how they always have those little side show museums on the side. Come and see the 2-headed snake and a rabid raccoon, or something bizarre like that. So we saw one of those, and I said, I bet they got snake-a-gators in there. And I don't, I don't know where snake-a-gator came from, but you laughed. Apparently everybody else in the car did. And so we ran with it the entire trip because there's not a whole lot to do when there's a hurricane going on. So we
Is there really such a thing as a snake-a-gator?
No. So I mean, we were basically just, if we'd go out to eat and get those little fried potato balls at McGuire's, we call them snake-a-gator balls. And so everything, we got snake-a-gator drinks if it was like a fluorescent green color or something like that. And so going back to his party, so I got him a gift. I got him some whiskey and some hot sauce because that's his 2 favorite things. And I made him a snake-a-gator.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Well, that is
so funny.
His half has the snake head and the gator body. So,
oh my God, that's so funny.
Snake-a-gator. Let's go ahead and will tell you who tonight's guest is, because I know you are dying over there. And I want you to get to bed and take care of yourself soon. But Scott Schroeder is our guest tonight. He is a professional photographer and lives in South Carolina. He's absolutely amazing. So if you have weddings or any kind of major events that you need him for, you can find him at Scott Schroeder Photography. He has a website called scottschroederphotography.com. You can't get any more simple and to the point than that. Right. But Scott, I have known longer than just about anyone, We went to preschool together. So we've known each other since we were since 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we went to elementary school together. We went to middle school together. We went to different high schools, and then we both moved away. But we reunited about 7 years ago, shortly after you and I met, I guess. And through Facebook, and because we still have mutual childhood friends. And so we just kind of, started talking, and he's doing great. Went into the Marine Corps and then came out and did some shenanigans, got married, has a family, and now is quite the photographer. Just really amazing stuff. But what's also cool is we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him.
Right.
And that is because he also has a podcast, and it started out called was Backyard Roundtable. And then he changed it to Here's a Thing. And he asked me to come on and co-host with him. And I had never done anything like that before. And his podcast is very different than ours, but it's really, really cool. I mean, you've heard a couple of them, I know. And and he's incredibly philosophical. He has a vocabulary like none other. He's also a funny dude, but a very austere man when he has his ways. With that being said, bring him on. How are you, Scott?
I'm well. How are y'all?
Doing great. It's good to see you again.
It's good to be seen.
I know.
Zettlemoyer.
And please, Scott, meet Dave. Dave Scott.
Hey, how's it going?
Dave, pleasure.
So I was telling our audience, Scott, a little bit about you, and that you and I have known each other since we were like 3 years old.
A long, long time.
Indeed.
Something like 21 or 22 years since we were 3 years old, right?
Yeah, something like that.
My math is a little fuzzy.
That's right. Scott threw my barrette over the fence when we were in preschool, made me cry.
Can't be true.
And we used to play. It was Scott and I and 2 other guys in 6th grade. We had homeroom together, and we would play poker for lunch money.
Yeah.
Never got caught.
Bad influence. Bad influence. I've often been called an instigator.
Oh, I think it was my idea.
Oh, so you're the bad influence. You're the troublemaker.
I kind of am.
Yeah.
Oh
Fire starter.
Yeah, just look at what I did to Dave 2 weeks ago.
I know. Made me jump out of a plane.
Yeah, and I saw the pictures, and I'm glad you finally got to do that, because there's I don't know, other than maybe riding in a helicopter, there's nothing more terrifying and more awesome at the same time than skydiving. And it makes no sense at all to do that to yourself. But I mean, definitely one of the things that you need to do in life in order to be a complete healthy person is to do things that are uncomfortable, make yourself uncomfortable. That, and there's a line. Everything's about balance, and there's a line between being insane, which I think, based on what I've seen that you do, you are a little insane, Mr. Black. But pushing that comfort zone and finding the balance between, because when you try new experiences, it's one of the most important things in life that used to be, I mean, since the dawn of humanity, thousands of years ago, people would trek from their village and make pilgrimages, and it would take them a year or 2 or more until they made it back home, if they ever made it back home. And when they did, they were a completely different person. They were a different entity because of the experiences and pushing out way outside of anything that would be considered a comfort zone. But your brain actually physiologically reacts to that situation, and it starts turning things on. I think they say it codes for new proteins that actually start developing.
Oh, wow.
And and it actually sort of transforms you into I don't know, I don't want to say really a higher form of yourself, but probably a different version, a more complete version of yourself as you're trying to achieve that whole thing. And it's really a neat process. And it's one of the things that because everything's a dichotomy, right? And so because we're so connected, because I mean, it's really a miracle. A, a confluence, it's not an invention, the confluence of inventions between YouTube and Zoom and all this stuff that we can do, that we can all sit here and have this conversation and then send it out to the entire universe. But it also takes away from that need to get out and explore, because when you can have a face-to-face conversation with someone sitting in your living room or in your, you know, your mysterious cave like I am, it's sort of, it takes away the urgency to get out.
Yeah, no, that's actually very fascinating. I had no idea that it physiologically changes you to go and do new things that take you out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly what Dave and I, you know, are all about on Give It a Go, is stepping out of that comfort zone, try something new.
How about that for an amazing segue?
I know, it's lovely.
Teed you right up, didn't I?
It's almost like you're a professional at this.
Right.
You've done it in a minute.
Or it's almost like you and I maybe have sat and done this for hours upon hours before.
That's part of it as well, but shh. Yeah.
Yep.
But go and since you brought that up, go check out Scott's amazing podcast. Here's a Thing. It is on YouTube. It's also on the audio, any of the audio stations. Podbean is where I would listen to it. Hey, everybody, we're going to let Dave go and take care of his post-surgical needs.
They've gotten a fight today and got poked in the eye a lot.
Right. Scott and I can handle this because we've done it before.
Yep, that'd be great. Sorry, y'all.
Dave, take care of you.
Will do. I'm just going to I'll go ahead and I guess step over.